Disclaimer first, this is my first ever tutorial and I wasn't really planning on making this one, or anyone for that matter, and I'll explain in a minute, but first I thought I would show you a sneak peek of what we will learn today, hopefully learn today. Castaways, we are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy, we are castaways. So a few weeks ago I saw this video of Allison Young playing her own version of this song. The song is of course Castaway, and ever since I saw her video I've had it stuck in my brain for these few weeks now, and I found myself today just looping it over and over again, and I thought I want to learn how to play this song. So like many others, I went into the comment section, couldn't find any tabs, plenty of people were asking for it, so I went on YouTube, I went on Google, I went on Ultimate Guitar, couldn't find any, so here we are now. I spent the day trying, playback, pausing, playback, pausing, to figure out how she played it. Another disclaimer here, I am no professional anything, to be honest. So there is a big chance I got some parts wrong, and if I play some parts too fast or I don't explain it well enough, just leave a comment down below and I'll get it back to you, hopefully with a better explanation, so feel free to ask any questions. So on to the tutorial. As you might have noticed, the capo is on the 2nd fret. If you don't have a capo, you can of course play without the capo. So the first chord is a C major 7 with a G in the bass, and she alternates the bass note between the C and the G. Throughout this video I will show the chords here somewhere. So the way you play a C major 7 with a G in the bass, you put the middle finger on the 2nd fret on the D string, the 4th string from the bottom. When I play with the pinky on the A string, the 5th string from the bottom, and then the ring finger on the 6th string, on the E string at the top. And the way she plays it, goes like this. It's a very nice groove, as you can hear, and if you don't already know, it's a bossa nova groove. So I will show you the picking pattern now, and I use 3 fingers. She actually only uses these 2 most of the time, and she only picks the B and the G string as far as I can see in here. I think it sounds a little bit better with all 3, so I will probably continue to do that. So we start with the thumb, and then I pick the 3 fingers, so like that, and then it goes with the thumb again, and here you have to be fairly quick with the thumb actually, so you go and then with 3 fingers again. So together that sounds like this. One more time. Okay, and if I just pause quickly here, if you don't really feel like you getting in the groove, and honestly I'm terrible like explaining the sort of the rhythm and the tempo, there is I think a very good video showing, like giving you an introduction to the bossa nova genre and how you play on a guitar. So I will link that below as well. So if you want, you can pause the video here, go take a look there, and then come back and pick it up. So with that said, I will play it through a bit faster without explaining too much of the details, hoping that you have picked up the tempo or the rhythm, and we'll play together. So with these first 2 bars, you play them twice. That ends up to being 4 bars, if my math is correct. And then the singing starts. So I'll play it a bit slow, so hopefully you can sort of follow along. Castaways, we are castaways. Ahoy there. So here we're just about to change chords, and the next chord is a A7. It sounds like this. And you keep the middle finger exactly where it is, so it's quite nice. You move the ring finger, however, to the 2nd fret on the B string. And now it's only the A in the bass, by the way, on this chord, so you won't alternate here. But she adds something, as you will see. She adds a little nice run, I guess you can call it, with the 3 fingers this time actually. So it sounds like this. So as you heard first, it started off as the regular tempo, but then she adds, which is quite nice, but it's like this again, slowly. And together with the lyrics, just so you get the tempo right. Ahoy there, ahoy, we are castaways. So I think I would just play it through slowly 2 or 3 times, because honestly it's too hard for me to explain it to you. Maybe even slower. Next chord is a D7. Many 7 chords here. And again, she only uses 2 fingers, these or these, I don't remember, I think it's these. So she really only plays with the middle finger on the G string on the 2nd fret and the index finger on the 1st fret on the B string. If you want to add for safety, as I do, I also add a ring finger on the E string, the higher E string, on the 2nd fret to form the full D chord, D7 chord. So if I hit it with all these fingers, it will still sound good. Okay, I think I will show you from the first chord, the C major 7, to the A7 to the D7. Okay, I got a little bit ahead of myself again, but yeah. Okay, so the D7, it's similar to the first chord. So you play, that's actually the same as the first chord, but you only do this once. Okay, so again. And slower. Alright, so, and the next chord, as you might have seen, is a G. And in my mind, at least, from the D7 to the G, it's like I'm climbing upwards a ladder or something. So I'll show you the transition between the D7 and the G a couple more times, and I'm trying to keep it slow so you can follow through. And the G, by the way, I don't use the pinky here, as we don't use the lower 2 strings. But the G, the ring finger on the E string, on the 3rd fret, and the middle finger on the 2nd fret on the A string. So it's these 2. And then I use these 2 fingers to open strings on the D string and the G string. All right, so. One more time. And a bit slower. Alright. So, arriving at the G. Honestly, there are many ways you can play this. I will show you what she plays, and then, you can freestyle a bit. It doesn't really matter. So, the G is quite simple. She alternates between the E string and the A string as the bass, and she also alternates with these 2 fingers, open strings on the D and the G, and then also G and the B. I'll show you. So first, so that's all there is to the G here. So it's all right. And I'm not sure if she, I think she also, you know, freestyles a little bit because she doesn't play the G the same way over and over again. So that's what I mean. You don't have to follow it too harshly. I think we should play it through fully now, slowly, so you can follow with the chord changes up until the G, until we jump on to the next part, which hopefully isn't too bad. It's a lot of chord changes, but I think you can make it. All right. I think I actually messed up there on the G, but again, it doesn't really matter. But as she plays it, it's this. This next section, it alternates between the D7 and the G. It might be a little bit harder now because you have to swap your fingers quite far between the two, but I'm sure you'll get the hang of it. And here, I suspect that she might have misplayed a note because she laughs when she plays it. Nonetheless, it's still very beautiful. So I'll show you what she plays, and then I'll show you an alternate version that also works. The little mistake she may or may not have made, you might have caught it. Instead of playing it like this, the first time she plays it like this. So with the open D string instead of the open A string. I think it still sounds alright, but she laughs a little bit when she does it, so I assume she didn't really mean to play it like that. But if you want to follow along now, I'll play the first two parts of this section slowly, because the third one is a little bit different. It will lead up to us coming back to the beginning. That it might have been a bit too fast if this is the first time you're playing it, so I'll take down the tempo a little bit. So. So those are the two first parts of this section, or whatever you want to call it. The third part of this section, the bass on the G chord, she repeats it. Instead of alternating to the open A string, she repeats the G bass. The G bass. All right. So it sounds like this, the third part. One more time. So one more time slowly. We'll play through that section all together and we come back to the C major 7. So that's pretty much the first verse. I play it one more time. I tried to sing it. Honestly, this section that we just played, it's quite hard to sing and play at the same time. I'm not really sure. I guess the changing of the chords just messes with the brain. Ahoy there, ahoy, we are castaways. We're stuck where we are. No house, no car. Castaways, ahoy, we are castaways. So we launched our lifeboat so we wouldn't drown. Castaways, we are castaways.